Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Olia and I lead developer experience at RootstockLabs. Rootstock is the first and longest running Bitcoin sidechain. What makes Rootstock special that it is fully EVM compatible, so developers can write code in Solidity and also enjoy the extensive EVM compatible toolchain when building. We've created this particular series to walk you through some of the most useful integrations and tools to make sure that you are fully equipped for building on Bitcoin with Rootstock. Today, we have a member of the RootstockLabs team. We have Isidro, who is a developer experience engineer, and he will be taking us through, I guess, one of the most important tools actually for builders and users, which is the Explorer. The team have been working on a new version of the Rootstock Explorer, so we now have V3 that's just been launched. Super exciting, and today we'll be looking at some of its features and how you can enjoy using the tool. Right, so I've been talking for a while now. Isidro, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Oli. Thank you for having me here. Yes, let me introduce myself. My name is Isidro Vega Bresciano, tech lead in the developer experience team, working for Rootstock Labs for a little bit more than 2 years now. Yes, I've been working on two of very important tools for developers and for interacting with the blockchain. One is the RPC API. The other one is the Explorer, Rootstock Explorer, which we are going to talk today about. We're really happy that we announced last week a new version, a completely revamped version of the Explorer. So it was completely rewritten, both the backend and the frontend from scratch. So we had to do that because we had a lot of technical debt and we wanted just to have a better experience for our users. And the previous version was a bit slow and sluggish in some occasions. And now we have a much faster and easier to use because we also been working on the user experience and in the overall user interface. So yes, happy that we have the new version. The Explorer is something that everyone needs to use at some moment when they're interacting with any blockchain. Even if you're a developer or a user, an end user, you can go and check if a transaction has been sent, if it had any problem. You can track it down. Also, you can go and check if someone is going to send you some tokens or something to your wallet address. You just want to go there to Explorer and check if that token address it has been verified and the code base for that token doesn't have any kind of malicious part of the code, which this is something that everyone should be accustomed to use and check always.
Yeah, in fact, I've just been checking an account balance of transfer for a little bit for my birthday. Yeah, very quick, very useful.
Nice. Yes, checking your balances and everything. So yes, that was a brief introduction. So we're going to talk first. I will show you first some changes that we did in case you are already familiarized with the Explorer. But anyways, we will see what are the main use cases and what you can do with this. And then we are going to do a live demo on um, how to check the transactions and everything. I think it's the best way to see the different functionalities if we have. And in this case, we can do it with an ERC20 token, which is something like USD or any token, and how you can interact with it and check it on the Explorer also. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so this is the main page of the Rootstock Explorer. As you can see now, it is much nicer than it was before. Basically, you have the landing page and you can have a switch between mainnet and testnet in the top right. So I could just click here and see what is going on mainnet, or I could just go back to testnet like that. And then we have a new search bar where you can go and write any token name, symbol, any block number or address, specific address that you want to search for. For example, if I just wanted to check for any token like a token that I recently deployed, And you can see that it's pretty easy to just get it and go and see all the details of the tokens. Then I could, for example, go and look for a specific address. I will get the answer and see it here. And then in each address, in this case, this is an account, and it could be also a contract address. I can see all the transactions that the address had, the different token transfers, internal transactions, events that are now formatted in a much better way, and the tokens that this address is holding. So I can see all the tokens that I have and the balance history on that it has been actually updated on each specific block time. So going back to the home page, and you will see also the transactions and the latest block always here. So you see that now there is a new block. It's not being updated because this is not checked, but I can check it and see the latest block here and go and see all the details of the blocks. You will see that for a block, you can check the transactions that the block has and also the internal transactions, which is this is very useful for debugging and see what has happened to any kind of transaction. And then you will see a lot more of information like merge mining header. And this is for context. Rootstock is the sidechain of Bitcoin. This is running in parallel to Bitcoin, and is the most secure EVM compatible blockchain because each block that is mined in Rootstock has a block hash that is stored on each Bitcoin block. So if you want to break Rootstock, then you have to go and break Bitcoin before. So it's not easy to do. Then you can check also the transactions. We also have this tab improved. And now you will see that, for example, if you hover on an address that is repeat, you will see how many times this address is repeated. You can see when the transaction happened, at what time, or you can see how long it was created. Then you will see the fee, the amount that was sent, the gas that the transaction used, or you can just also click on the transaction and see all the details for it. This is also very, very useful in case you want to see how much gas it used, what was the price of the gas, and many different things. Even the internal transaction, the logs, and in the case it was a token transfer, that you will see it also here. In this case, it wasn't. Then you will see the top addresses, the top tokens, and then we also have a very, very interesting functionality that we just launched, but we're going to talk about that in the next webinar. But as a reference, this is the new Rootstock attestation service, which is something that we can use, or anyone can use, many different specific ways, but a use case would be in case you want to attest that a diploma of a specific course where it was given to you, then you can attest it on chain, and it's going to be there forever. A very interesting topic for a new webinar, so stay tuned to watch it later. So far, I think we showed the different parts of the Explorer, but in order to understand better how it works and how to interact with Explorer, I think it's a good idea to deploy a new ERC20 token. So we're going to launch a new coin, and then we are going to make some transactions between different accounts and see how we can track all of that on the Explorer. So in order to do that, I have already created a token. This is here we are using a specific and standard ERC open Zeppelin contract. And we are going to just change the name of the token. In this case, we are going to call it demo token, and the ticker is going to be demo. So I'm going to just build the token, the contract, and let's deploy it so we have it on our network. Now we have to wait for it to the transaction to be ready, and we can see that it's running now. While the transaction is being created, we can see that we already have a transaction hash here. So let's go and see what happened. And this is already done, so it was quick. So let's check what happened. So I can go and search by transaction hash, and I see that the transaction was successful. The type of the transaction was a contract deploy, and it was created from this address, which is my address, to this address. But what is this address? If we go back to the deployment, we see that we have a contract address, and this contract address is exactly what we see here. I can go just and see what is this contract about. And we see that we have the contract name demo token, the symbol is demo, and we have a total supply of 1,000 demos, we call it. And let's see if we have some token transfers. So far, there is only one token transfer. It was the minting of the token. We see that the total supply has been transferred to my account. So I have all the tokens now. Then we will see what were the events, and then if you are the developer, you can just go here and see what specific logs that you have for this event, so you can debug in case you have any problem. Then you will see the balance history of this specific account, because a contract can also hold balance, and which accounts are currently holding these tokens. But we'll see that there is only one account that is holding the token, but if we transfer the token, we will check it what happens in this tab. And we also have a contract tab. But what is this? In this case, this is the code that we just deployed. But it is very difficult to understand this because this is completely coded. So we will have here a tab where we can verify the contract. And this is something that every blockchain developer wants to do, because this is the way in which we can say that our code is not a malicious code, and we are not doing something wrong with your tokens or your money. So first we're going to verify the contract, and then we are going to interact a little bit with this. We are going to add it to MetaMask and then check what is happening. So in order to verify the code, I have to upload my actual code to that. But in this case, this code is a bit short because it's importing an Open Zeppelin contract, so I have to flatten the code itself. So I'm going to do it using Foundry. I'm going to flatten it and create a new. I'm going to create a new file with that. Let's remove this one. So now we can flatten the contract. Flattening it means that there are different files from this contract that they are going to be in just one file. So if I just did it, and now I can go back to the Explorer, click on verify, and then you will see that this is a part of the Explorer that we also revamped and enhanced a lot. We have now a much easier and nicer experience. But when I want to verify a contract, I can choose two different methods. One is uploading the Solidity source file, and the other one is just uploading a JSON input, which is a different way to do it. But now I'm going to choose the Solidity source file. For the compiler version, I am going to use the same compiler that I used to build my token using Foundry. And we can check here that I used the Solidity compiler 8.20 and using the EVM version London. So let's go back to the Explorer. Let's select 8.20. And let's add the contract name. In this case, the contract name needs to be the same name as the contract that I'm going to upload. So I can paste it here. And now I have to add the file that I just created. So let's add this here. Okay, this is ready. In this case, I have to check the EVM version is London, which is okay. And now we have the constructor arguments. Let's see what our contract required. So this contract required an initial supply as a constructor argument. So I have to check what I used for that. And on the deploy script, I used 1000 units of this token. So I have to input that value, but this is with 18 zeros because this specific token has 18 decimals. So it's going to be 1018 zeros after the 1000, which I have copied here for convenience. And now I'm going to paste it here. So that's it. I have everything ready. Now I'm going to verify the contract and we will see how it goes. Okay, it's ready. It was pretty easy and fast. And now we can go back, click on continue. And we are here back on the contract details. And you see now that we have this label which says that it's verified. And we have here also on the contract tab a new data that it was not being shown before because we didn't have it. But now that it's verified, I can check the code of this token. And in case I want to make an audit on this code, I can see that it's not malicious. So now that I have this verified, and we know that I am holding 1000 tokens of this demo token, I just want to send it to someone else. So I can go to MetaMask. In this case, I won't see my token here so far in the MetaMask wallet, but I have to add it, which is pretty easy to do. I just need to copy my contract address. Let's go to MetaMask, and here I'm going to click on Import Tokens. I will select Rootstock Testnet, and then I'm going to paste the contract address. And I see that it already has the token symbol, so click on Next. And now I have it. But I was adding in another account, so let's add on the account that actually holds the tokens. So import the tokens here, go to testnet, then paste the contract address, check that I have the same symbol, and now we can see that I have 1000 of these tokens. So, okay, now I have the tokens, I can see that I have them here, and now I can do whatever I want with this. So let's send to someone else. In this case, I'm going to send it to another address of myself. And let's say that I want to send 100 demos. Click on continue, and we have to wait for the transaction to be ready. But in the meantime, we can start interacting with the Explorer. If I go in MetaMask and click on View on Block Explorer, then I'm going to be sent to the actual transaction. And I see that this is pending yet, which is fine because it can take between 20 and 30 seconds to be mined. So while I wait for that to be done, I can just go back and see what are I can go back and check different things that happen. For example, I can see the logs for the internal transaction that is going to happen. So I see here that this is a token transfer from this account to this account, the quantity of 100 tokens, and the type of token, which was the demo token. So if I click here in demo token, I go back to that token. But I also can go to tokens and see that it's going to be right here in the tokens list. Or if I'm on the home address, I can just write demo, and I will get the different token addresses. Of course, there are a lot of demo tokens, but this is just the way to do it. So let's go back to the transaction. Let's see if I already have it on MetaMask. It says that it's confirmed. In case I want it, I just go back and check it on the Rootstock Explorer, and I will see that the transaction status is success. So now I can go back to my other account and check what tokens do I have, and I see that I already have 100 demo tokens that I received. So that is one of the ways to check how everything works, and I see that it was very easy. And now let's go back and update what is happening here in the contract details. For example, if we go to the accounts tab, I will see that there are currently now 3 addresses that had a balance for this token. The 0 is the 0 address because this was the address for the minting and creation of the token. This is one of the addresses which had 1,000 tokens, and now it has 900 tokens because it sent 100 to the other address. So it's pretty easy to see it. I can see the internal transactions, the token transfers, and you will see that there are 2 token transfers. Yes, many different things that we can check. So this is almost unlimited. If I wanted, I can also, in any different screen where I'm sitting, I can download a JSON file or a CSV in case I just want to have all the balances or the history or anything that I want to check. I can just do it like that. So that was one of the most important things, but I'm going to also show something else that we can do probably as a developer. This wouldn't be like for an end user, but once the contract has been verified, we can just go and use and interact directly from our Explorer. So you can go and read the contract, and you will see all the methods that the contract has. For example, I can check this one, which is how many decimals the contract has, and we'll see that it returned 18. That's when I say that 1,018 zeros, that means that we have 18 decimals here. I can also query the name of the contract, and I will get a demo token or the symbol of the contract, something like demo. And we also have, we call it read contract, which is methods that it doesn't cost anything to do. This is just reading from the blockchain what is stored there. It doesn't cost anything for us. But then we have the write contract methods. And this is something that we interact with the blockchain and we change the state of the blockchain itself. So we have to use some gas for that. And in this case, this contract has 3 methods to interact with. And now, in order to interact with that, I have to connect my wallet. So I'm going to click on Connect Wallet. I just selected my account. And now you can see that my wallet is connected to the Explorer itself. And I can execute different methods. In this case, I want to execute a transfer from my account to the other account. And let's say that I copy the address, so I have to paste it here. And I'm going to send a value. In this case, as this is something that is for development, this is not translated to, let's call it human readable. So I'm going to need to add the value and the 18 zeros that I mentioned before. But let's say that I want to transfer 100 tokens. I'm going to paste it 100 with the 18 zeros. I can simulate it and see if this is okay. And now I can write it. If I write it, that means that I'm going to send the 100 tokens to the other address. So let's click on confirm, and we have to wait now that this is happening. How can I check it? I have the transaction hash here, and I can just click on it, and I'm going to have the transaction. And I can see that the transaction is sending the tokens. So once we have the transaction mined, we will see the result here. Let's wait now. Okay, now we can see that the transaction has been executed. We can check the transactions, the internal transactions and the logs, and we will see that it was a token transfer of 10 units. It was not 100, it was 10 from this account to this account. So let's go to MetaMask and see what happened here. If I go to the other account, to this account, and let's check on tokens, and I can see that now we have 110 demos. So the transaction was executed just right. So yes, I think this is a general overview of our Rootstock Explorer. We could see how you can interact with Explorer, how you can use it to check different things, like transactions, like the gas fee that you spend on the transaction, or the execution of a transaction itself, which is something that we usually want to check anytime that we do a transaction.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty detailed. Just a couple of quick ones. Very great step-by-step guide on deploying ERC20. Thank you for sharing that to Explorer. That's really cool. And obviously verifying the contract afterwards. If somebody wants to follow, is there like a written version of it somewhere, or is there a similar maybe workshop one can find so they can do and try it for themselves?
Yes, actually, very nice question, because we have different guides in our developers portal, which I can show you now. But in this case, if you go, okay, I have the link, but we have a smart contract development guide with different tools. The most used tools now is Foundry and Hardhat. So you can just choose the whatever you prefer. In this case, today I used Foundry because I like it, and it's very, very straightforward to use. But we have a very, very in-depth guide here where you can just go create a Foundry project from the installation of a tool to every step by step. And we also even have here a repository that you can clone with everything that you need. And you can, in some minutes, you can easily deploy your own token and start interacting with Rootstock, which is pretty nice that we have here. So definitely anyone can just come here and see everything that I just explained. It's written here, and you will see how to troubleshoot if you have any problem or that. So again, this is that. Go there. This is the Rootstock developers portal. We have all the documentation here and a lot of really, really good guides. How to, if you're a beginner, if you want to deploy smart contracts, just go there, check for quick guides, and it's a lot of content here. Even if you want to use Remix, you can use it. Yes.
Awesome, thank you. Another one you mentioned, I was just about to say Led Zeppelin. Open Zeppelin is the one you use, not Led Zeppelin. But maybe just a few words. Is it compatible? Are all the templates compatible with Rootstock Chain? Because obviously, yeah, we are building on Bitcoin, and then how it can be useful for developers.
Open Zeppelin has a lot of standard contracts that you can use, and of course is compatible with Rootstock, and you can take one of them and use it. You can modify it and do whatever. You can also go to, if you wanted to, cookbook, where there are also a lot of interesting contracts or ideas where you can start working. Just take any contract that you want. For example, you have the Open Zeppelin Essentials. Go here, check for any token that you wanted to check. And of course, there are different variations. You can use a token that is mintable, or you can create a token that is burnable, or just a simple token, or anything that you want. We have a very, very nice library here that you can, of course, use on Rootstock.
Excellent, thank you. And just to note on that also, Cookbook is integrated with Rootstock, so you can try it out from the Rootstock docs directly. You don't even need to go anywhere. Right. And my last question, I guess, would be a little bit more about behind the scenes, building the Explorer. Where do you get the inspiration and the feedback? Can you tell us maybe a little bit on how the backlog works and how you folks decide to work on next and what's important for the community?
Yes, so we have of course, we have the inspiration of from our users. We have a lot of developers that interact with us. They can contact us on Discord or on Twitter or X and request for features or tell us what they are thinking about the Explorer. And one of the problems that we were having, it wasn't performing very well. So that motivated us to do better, to have a great Explorer and to redo it from scratch. And yes, we have a nice backlog, and we are also working, and we are going to work on a lot of new features that we are to keep adding to this Explorer. And this backlog comes also from the community, from the users. So anyone who wanted any kind of feature or request something, you can just contact us either on Discord or using X, and we'll take note and work on that. And regarding the next features that we will be working on, we are working on a nice dApps page where everyone who created and deployed a smart contract or a decentralized application on Rootstock can come here, register their dApp, and showcase it to anyone. So it's a very nice view of having it. So stay tuned because this is going to be launched very soon. And then we are going to also to keep adding features and tools for not just developer, but also for users. If you want to be able to track easier how much is the gas cost now in the network, which is pretty cheap, but also you always want to check it out, and many other different things that we will be launching. So
Nice, a little preview there. Alpha drop. Going back to the feedback, as Isidro just mentioned, always welcome. You can also see in the bottom left corner, there's a nice fat little button that allows you to quickly and easily submit your feedback. So looking forward to hearing from you. And then with regards to the DAP tab, that's super exciting. It's kind of like a very community focused feature, so you can showcase what you're building and let other users know, I guess. All right, thank you. And then the last button, please. Shall we do a bit of a trailer for the RAS episode?
yes, we can do it if you want. So this is just a small idea of what is RAS. So if you go here, this is pretty straightforward. You will have a table with all the attestations that are currently on Rootstock and the different schemas. And so a schema is like the template for your attestation. So you can create a new schema, add all the fields that you are going to need for it. And then once you have it, you can just create a new attestation and use it with that schema. And then you will see all the attestations here and check it out from all the details here.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
it's a
That's great.
pretty short overview, but it's an amazing tool for anything that you want to attest on blockchain.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, very good. Just enough to get everyone excited about our next episode on Rust, where we'll be covering more details, but also some of the use cases, such as Isidro mentioned, Dukova's attestations, all sorts of different things you can do there. All right. Well, I think that'll be the end of it. Isidro, thanks so much for joining us today. Really enjoyed the demo. As we mentioned, do leave feedback, please. Join the Discord if you haven't yet. And Isidro, I hope we'll get to see you soon.
Thank you, Oli. And yes, as you mentioned, you can just use the send feedback button and write to us here. So thank you, Oli, for having us. And thank you very much.